Just when you thought Roy Moore's campaign couldn't get any worse, they have found an equally loathsome campaign spokesperson. It's Jane Porter. She's going to go on with Poppy Harlow on CNN. Poppy is 8 months pregnant. That is going to be relevant to this clip because of the insane intro that Porter has to the interview, and then brings up the issue one more time. So let's watch.
Janet Porter. Janet, it is nice to have you on. Thank you for joining us. And let me get right to it.
So Thank you. It's great to be with you. And by the way, congratulations on your unborn child. That's the reason why I came down as a volunteer to speak for Judge Roy Moore, because he'll stand for the rights of babies like yours in the womb, where his opponent will support killing them up until the moment of birth.
Janet, thank you for being with us, and I appreciate the congratulations on our son on the way. Now let's get right to this.
Here's a question that should be asked. If you care about child abuse, you should be talking about the fact that Judge Roy Moore stands for protection, not only of our Second Amendment rights so we can protect ourselves against predators, for the rights of babies like your 8-month baby that you're carrying now. Doug Jones says you can take the life of that baby and we should pay for it.
Let's leave my child out of this.
Who wants to sell
my child out of this?
Well, it's really the children of Alabama that we're talking about, and the Alabamians understand.
We really do have a culture war. Jane Porter and I will never agree on these issues. I guess that she views us as terrible people because we don't think a zygote is the same as a fully grown human being, and we actually care about fully grown human beings. When they're out of the womb, we want to make sure that sexual predators like Roy Moore don't molest our 14-year-old kids. She thinks that's not at all important. Oh, once they're out of the womb, molest them, sexually assault them, do whatever you want. But they only matter when they're inside the womb. We're never going to agree. We don't agree. I think you're monstrous. And I think you are a liar. It's not, there's a disagreement and then there's the facts. She said that Doug Jones would be in favor of, she said, support killing kids until they're out of the womb. That's just not true. Roe versus Wade, which Doug Jones supports, is about the 3 trimesters, and you are not allowed to have an abortion in the 3rd trimester. And the idea there is, if the baby is viable outside of the womb, then it is an independent human being. Liberals and progressives don't disagree with that. We think once you have viability, it's an independent human being and has rights. Until that, it is not. But she lies about it and says, oh, until it comes out, Doug Jones will support, quote, killing them. And then she makes it personal by talking about her particular child and says that even though it's an 8-month-old baby in the womb, that Doug Jones would support taking it out. But that's not true. It's in the 3rd trimester. They have no morality. But then they get all on their high horse like that they're the moral ones. They're the party of family values. They're the ones who cares about morality. No, you're sick and grotesque. You've proven it. You work for a child predator. You work for a guy who tried to get a 14-year-old to touch his genitals, stripped her nearly naked. You work for a guy who a 16-year-old says ripped her clothes off and tried to rape her. You want to talk about values? You're a sick human being, Jane Porter. And they're such weirdos. What, you start an interview with talking about her unborn child? Don't bring her into it. And talking about how people are going to kill them. We're never going to agree. And guess what? 2/3 of the country agrees with us and they don't agree with you, Jane Porter. So yes, you've got some Alabama Republicans down there who I think are equally monstrous and think, child predators, no big deal. We were lying the whole time about family values. All that stuff we were saying about Christianity, it was just a cover for hating the wrong kind of people, right? They're Muslims, we hate them. They're Latino, we hate them. They're blacks, we hate them. So let's just call it Christianity. And even abortion, where they pretend to care about life because they don't care about it the minute that the baby's born. Oh yeah, you want help with your kids' insurance so they don't die? Well, the Republicans just took that away. You got a kid who's sick? Who cares? They're not pro-life. Yeah, can we help them if they're hungry? Give them school lunches? No, who cares? You're not pro-life. How about death penalty? Who cares? Kill them, kill them. How about wars? Kill them, kill them, kill them. You're not pro-life. You're liars. The only time you pretend to care is when that so-called life is inside a woman. Why? You got to control her. Hey, you don't do what you want with your body. That would be called freedom. You do what male Republicans tell you to do with your body. Well, we don't agree. But for God's sake, if you're pro-choice and you're progressive, get out there and vote. You know, this race, fine, but I'm talking about all the races. Go out there, they vote on this one maniacal issue, nonstop. And they get out there and vote and vote and vote. You know why Donald Trump won? 81% of white evangelicals supported him, which is an unbelievably high number. But much more importantly, they had 85% voter turnout because they're obsessed with zygotes. The reality is, again, they don't care about the life. All they care about is controlling women, and they brainwash people like Jane Porter. She goes out there, oh my God, oh yeah, oh please control my body, please control my body. Okay, oh they're gonna kill your kids, etc. Jane Porter, do you have kids? I don't know. I don't want to even get into it. I don't want to make. They're absolutely gross. So you charge us with immorality based on what our view on a clump of cells? We actually care about people who are alive. I charge you with immorality, you monster. Go and try to get your child predator, your sexual molester of children into the Senate. Congratulations, Jane Porter, you goddamn monster. We'll never agree. The only answer is to defeat them over and over electorally. Never ever let these monsters into power, into government where they can abuse women. What you just watched was one of the videos that we do today, but we actually do a whole 2-hour show every single day. It's a podcast. You could watch it in video or listen to it as audio. You can download it, you can stream it, and you get it completely ad-free if you could become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.